grasp on what type of costs we're going to see through administrative raises coming up in the next year or two at the University of Minnesota, just as between cost of living and people asking for raises to stay at the university as compared to going somewhere else.
Yes, so I want to say, Mr. Vice Chair and members of the committee, that I am a public servant, so I think it's a totally legitimate question, and I don't want anybody to feel awkward about asking it. I think it's something that we should discuss publicly. So it's a question that I was asked when I was interviewed as a candidate too, and that we have been asked basically every time we hire somebody in the ways that are more public. I mean, the ones that certainly come before the Board of Regents and therefore reviewed publicly, but that we discuss internally every time we hire. And we make our salary decisions based on performance assessment and markets. And it is a competitive marketplace for talent at every level. And so we strive as an institution, and I'm as an employee of that institution, to put our employees on average in the center of the market. And that's something that we're continuously doing. And I know there could be debate or dislike for the market. I mean, there are people who I pay more than I would like to pay, and I may be one of those people for some of you, but the entire decision is based on an assessment of the quality of the performance and then the market for the salary. And I sit, even after the raise, at the bottom of my peer group. So that is just the facts of the market for university presidents. And also in my case, I'm the system president and the campus chancellor. For many of my peers, they only have one of those jobs, and I do both. So you're getting two for the price of one in my case. With the athletic director, that's not as a result of my raise. He is reviewed periodically. If you look historically, on average, we have looked at his contract every 2 years. The market is moving really fast in athletics, and I know a lot of people disagree with that, but they have a market too, and he is delivering the highest GPAs, the highest graduation rates, winning records across our sports with coaches who are doing things the right way, that make us really proud to cheer for the team, and with a lot of optimism about the future too around the program. A lot of people want him. He's on the National Basketball Committee, which is one of the highest profile recognitions of his role nationally. Several of his coaches have been named Coach of the Year nationally. He's doing a really good job. We need to keep him. And so we want him to stay in the middle of his group. He'd fallen behind in the last 2 years, so we put him back in the middle. So those kinds of conversations you will hear, but they're not a domino effect from the fact that my contract was looked at. Again, they're just the nature of a competitive marketplace.
Thank you. And I know a number of people, you alluded to it. I am one. I believe that, as we look at the markets, it's when you're talking about, and we look at it, say the Big Ten, that's a very small market, and it tends to escalate itself because it's so small. So I think that's a conversation hopefully to be had, and it's not the only one. As a sports fan, it drives me crazy watching what a quarterback in the NFL makes today, or things like that. So, but I think those are questions that need to be asked about the market. Is that, are we self-inflating by competing with one another in such a small group? So I do not see any other questions from the committee. I do want to put one bug in the ear. We have a committee hearing next week around the 3 sports programs that were canceled. And the one question that I am going to ask right away that I'm hoping to get an answer for is like the number 1 or maybe top 2 reasons why those 2 programs were canceled, so that we can kind of dig into that and address that. So, but otherwise, President Gablr, do you have any final remarks or comments you would like to give the committee?
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Just to restate our appreciation for our time with you today, for your engagement and questions. And of course, if there's follow-up, we would be delighted. Just let us know, and we look forward to working with you as we work through the session. So thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, everyone, for the presentation today. And